Immigrant rights!
Human rights!
Immigrant rights!
Human rights!
Immigrant rights!
Human rights!
Trans rights!
Human rights!
Trans rights!
Human rights!
What do we want?
Justice!
When do we want it?
I took time, so much time to digest it. I like sons very much. That's why I pray God and give birth to a son. And what happened? My fate is like this. The son changed into a daughter. I tried to change and I have given support to my daughter. If she is happy, I am happy.
परिवार शुरू करने के लिए there's many reasons. Ultimately, it's the culmination of my own struggle. It's also a way of salvation for me to see folks, whoever is oppressed, beginning with transgender people, that they have an opportunity to live and be their whole selves. We are a grassroots, trans-led, trans-centering organization, and the roadblocks have been many.
What Parivar is doing, which is novel, is centering trans, centering gender non-conforming folks and their struggles and their issues in the forefront of the discussion. That unique perspective is what is making all the difference.
You have to realize that in a country like India, most trans hijra kinner folks live way below the poverty line. So there's a level of class that they don't have, that most cis, lesbian, gay folks do. So when you are thinking of helping them from 7,000 miles away, you have to realize that they don't even have a computer. They probably don't even have a smartphone. They don't even know how to read and write. So you have to get adaptive, creative, and that's why it's very important to have your community leaders who are going to continue the same mission that you have.
जैसे आपको पता है कि लॉकडाउन जब ऐलान हो गया, लॉकडाउन इन द सेंस ऑफ सीजिंग ऑफ ट्रांसपोर्ट ही नहीं है, सीजिंग ऑफ मूवमेंट ही नहीं है, बट ट्रांस लोगों के लिए उनको धकेलना है एक पॉवर्टी में. रोज़ रोज़ कमा के ही जीते हमारा लोग, रोज़ भीख मांगने के लिए जाते हैं या रोज़ सेक्स वर्क करने के लिए जाते हैं. वो नहीं किया तो वो दिन खाना नहीं है उनको. अंजलि ने कहा ठीक है, मतलब ऐसा हालत है तो हम एक कैंपेन शुरू करेंगे. तब हमने शीतल कैंपेन शुरू किया.
One of the many programs we've done is Seetal, which is Save Indian Trans All India Life, which was somewhat of a reactive but now has become a strategic initiative. Seetal came about as one of our global disaster programs, and it is a grassroots initiative led by trans people on the ground. Our first program was around relief and recovery, all sorts of things that affected our trans community who were further marginalized, further neglected and isolated during the pandemic. And very quickly we started going into our second program, which was livelihoods, which was focused on rebuilding and rehabilitating our trans hetero folks to have an alternate option to what they usually end up having to do, which is survival sex work or Badai and Chella, which were still off limits given the pandemic and the lockdowns and the distancing and such. So our livelihood programs provides trans folks to own projects that allow them to build sustainable incomes, and through that program and that project they're also able to help other trans people learn a skill in that field.
So many of us are positively impacted by the work that she's done and the work that's going to continue. I feel like she's leaving a legacy that the generations to come are going to be able to benefit, and we're going to see a more progressive South Asian diaspora.
You want to fight for equity, you want to fight for justice, you can do all that, but unless you're going to center, surround and uplift trans leadership and trans people, you are never going to be truly a trans ally and a warrior for our trans liberation.